Welcome, everybody, to another great episode of Real Life Matters. Of course, I'm your host, DBoss, and we're bringing you the entertainment, the latest things happening with the companies, brands, artists, and a very important people, VIP. So I have here a very special lady who's going to be coming on today, and she is an icon in Black history and in general. But anyways, with no other further ado, I introduce to you Johnnie Walker of NAFEM, and she is the CEO and founder. Welcome.
Oh, hey there. You know, I was on my phone. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Well, this is Real Life Matters, so people do things you just never can know.
That is real life. And really the thing is, it was my daughter. And generally, you know, it's like I always tell her, can't you just like pick up the phone and call me? But she will text. And so when she texts,
I like people to call me too. This texting thing is just,
I guess it's old school, you know. But it's like there's no emotion in a text. No. You don't really feel, you know.
You don't know what they're telling you, if they're upset or unless maybe it's a capital letter or if they use an emoji or something.
Yeah. Well, I guess I look at it from the aspect of a text or nothing.
Right.
So I'm going to take the text.
But Johnnie Walker, well, I tell you, you must get a lot, and you're a female, so people must be wondering when they see you there. Oh, so I guess must get that a lot, right?
Oh man, listen, I've had every joke that you possibly could hear, from Johnnie Walker Red, Johnnie Walker Black. Oh my gosh, it's it's kind of like I don't even pay it any attention anymore because people do it all the time. Or like, for instance, I really know when someone knows me because if they send me an email or send me any type of correspondence and they say, "Sir," I know. I'm very clear. This person is sending me a blanket message. They don't know me from a can of paint. So, you know, it has its benefits. I'll say it like that.
Right. But, you know, I guess when your mom was naming you, maybe she thought of something. So,
you know what? I was the last born, and my dad did not have any boys. And I think that he just was like, my name was going to be Johnnie. It didn't matter. That's just what it was going to be. And like I said, all girls, no boys. And it is what it is. Growing up, I just thought he's the meanest person in the world to give me this name. But as I grew older, and especially as I got into the music industry, I mean, it worked. It is like really cool name. But I always was angry because I thought it was so masculine. I thought I didn't really identify with it. And kids used to call me Junior. Kids can be so mean, you know.
They can. That's terrible.
But, you know, hey, it all worked out. It totally worked out.
Well, it's too bad you couldn't get some of the money from the real Johnnie Walker.
Oh man, you know, that would really be nice. When I used to work at DreamWorks out in LA, I had a really cool relationship with the company, and I mean, they used to, golly, I had all of them. My office was laced with the gold brand, the blue label when it came out, the red, the black. I had their leather jackets, leather garment bags, briefcases, everything. I had Johnnie Walker on it. I think I probably had it. They probably gave it to me. I would always say, "Oh, this is really nice. You guys want to give a sister a check?"
Oh boy. So, how long have you been in the music industry?
Oh wow. Okay, people, put your calendars away.
Okay.
It's been a really long time. Definitely, I would say about 30, 35 years for sure. Yeah.
Okay. And
But
what
I'm
type of
still a young
genre of
girl.
music? What type of genre of music do you do? Or
Well, now, let's say it this way: my most success has been in hip hop. But when I was at DreamWorks, it was R&B mostly,
okay,
R&B soul when I was at DreamWorks. But my success, where probably most people know me, is in hip hop. I was at Def Jam, senior vice president for 15 years. So that's what people really know
that
me
was
from.
you.
That was me.
So what you were there. So what made you just say, okay, I got to move on?
Well, the music was changing. A lot of things were happening. The company was changing. And so, yeah, I always like to say things just happen the way that they happen. And
Mm-hmm.
it's an amazing opportunity came before me. It was the opportunity to be head of Black music. Wasn't a lot of women in those kinds of positions, and I couldn't turn it down. It's like, wow, this is my opportunity to have next. Because I had signing power. There were just a lot of powers that I had as head of Black music I did not have at Def Jam. So it was appealing. I left.
So when like okay, so you always knew you wanted to be an artist in the entertainment industry, or you just, or how did that fold out? Did it
Oh,
fold out younger life, or
girl, I am not an artist. I couldn't sing if you put a gun to my head.
Okay.
I am not an artist. I cannot sing. A lot of people have thought I could sing. I cannot
Wow.
sing. I cannot. I cannot.
But you can
My
rap.
career background, I started out in radio. I've done country radio. I've done pop radio, R&B radio.
Hmm.
But the thing about R&B radio, it opened a door and created the opportunity for me to meet the powers that be at Def Jam. And that's how I got to Def Jam. And so it's
Wow.
kind of like a trajectory that took me from radio into the record industry, onto some of the other things that I've done in my career. But no, I can't sing.
So did you go to school, or did you take this in school, or you just got to know the craft?
Well, I'm really more, I like to say I'm more self taught,
Okay.
because in the early days, you had to have what they called a radio telephone third class license in order to be on air. You couldn't just get a job like they do now, just go get your job at a radio station and you're on. In those early days, you had to have that it's radio telephone third class license. You had to have that. So I took a little course that focused on that license, because I said if I get this license, then I could go after my pursuit, to get into radio. So
Right.
I took that course, got the license, and just went after radio. Unfortunately for me, where I was living at the time, there were no opportunities for a Black woman, um, in radio. I mean, the radio stations were pop, they were country, there just weren't any Black radio stations. So that's when I tell people my career started in country music, because I wanted to be in radio. I really did not care. I didn't care. They could have been playing Disney jingles for all I cared. I wanted in that studio. And so the first opportunity popped up at a country radio station. And even at that radio station, they hired me to be a receptionist. They did not hire me to be on the air. Uh,
Well,
and
you're getting closer
but I was
though.
inside. Look at man, I was inside. So the key thing is I would go to my GM often, and I would always, like, hey, you're sleeping on my skills. And he would just laugh, like, whatever. And what happened for me is there was a jock that did not come in. I guess I don't know if he was sick or whatever. He didn't come in. So I was calling around trying to find a replacement, somebody to come and work in his spot, and couldn't find anybody. And so my GM was like, I said, it's going to be me or it's going to be you, one of us. And so he put me in. And one of the funny things, let's think now, it's Mississippi, it's a country radio station. He came to me and he said, okay, just play the music and don't say anything. Don't say a word. Now you got to think 70s, Black, country music,
Oh.
Mississippi. He just didn't want me to say anything. And so he came in and said, this thing feels like a jukebox, like it's just playing music and nobody's saying anything. That's what you told me not to say anything. And he's like, well, read the weather or tell people what time it is and that kind of thing. And so
Oh,
I read the weather. I said a few things. He came back in and said, wow, you don't sound half bad. And I'm looking at
wow.
him like, I told you were sleeping on my skills. That's what I wanted to say, but of course I didn't. And he just like, I don't know, he just kind of liked me and said, well, why don't you come in tomorrow? When you come in, I want you to do like 2 hours on the air. And so that's really how I got started. I came in to do the reception thing. I was the station's receptionist, but I would do those 2 hours on the air. And so the other thing that was the elevation for me is I kept bugging him about letting me play black music. And that was the joke around the station. It was a country
Wow.
station, but I wanted to play Michael Jackson. He
Well,
eventually,
Michael Jackson has pop. It's pop rock.
oh my goodness. But the funny thing is, he eventually did let me have 2 hours at night playing R&B music. And so that was kind of like my entry. And I was on 10 o'clock to midnight. It was so popular that he came in and said, well, let's move this down to 8 o'clock. So it was like 8 o'clock to midnight. And he said, well, let's move this down to 6 o'clock. So I actually was on the country radio station for 6 hours every day
Wow.
playing black music. And so that's really how it started for me.
So can you tell everybody, Johnny, where do you come from?
Oh, girl.
Woo!
I come from a very small town in the state of Mississippi.
Woo.
Population probably at that time probably about 12,000. Everybody knew everybody.
Wow.
We all lived in the same block. So that's really, I mean, like I said, it's a very small town in the state of Mississippi. It's kind of like in the mid South of the country. We're
Okay.
close to Tennessee, close to states like Louisiana. I think we border Arkansas, those
Mm.
states, but small town, very, very small town.
Yeah, and they were and the thinking, and so from you evolving from the country into the R&B and letting them do that down there, they're not really thinking like that.
Well, like I said, you got to think 70s, and I don't know how
Hmm.
much, from the civil rights movement and all of that was occurring at that time. It had its challenges.
Okay.
Challenges in that this was a country radio station. How dare
Hmm.
you play the Isley Brothers,
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, Aretha Franklin? How dare you? Um,
But at least they paid KC and the Sunshine Band, so they couldn't feel that bad.
maybe, but it was kind of like I said, you had some people that rebelled against it, some that was like, okay, it's a party. So it just took a little while for people to grasp it. And when they did, hey, I'm a pretty personable person. So it didn't take people long. But in the
Hmm.
beginning, there were a few challenges. I'm not going to front like it was peaches and cream. It was not. Uh,
No, well, it could have been because you're changing the whole evolution of
yep,
bringing R&B disco into a station,
absolutely. Absolutely. It was
and
fun.
it's tough. That's a tough. You,
Like I
I
said,
know
it was
you
fun.
had your helmet on every day you came into work.
Girl, I had my helmet on. I had my bulletproof vest on. I had my battle boots on. I came in ready. I came in battle ready every day. Um,
I
but
was
it
talking
was
to a band that they the guys actually they were on TV and people didn't like their music and the people came out and started a fight.
wow. Well, I had a
It was
unique
terrible.
situation. I had a unique situation during that time where we had a contest called the World's Dirty Truck Contest.
Mm.
And my GM came in that afternoon and said, what time are you arriving at the contest? I'm like, please, I'm not coming out there. And the reason why I was not going, imagine. dirty truck. You know, brothers, you better not put no mud on a brother's truck. So
Ooh,
I knew wasn't gonna be any black people there. So
no.
it was, I just felt I had no business there.
Mm,
And he was like, you know, you're part of this station just as everybody else is. And you can't not come for whatever reason you're choosing not to come. It's not good enough. You have to be there.
wow.
And so I didn't want to come. As a matter of fact, I was a little afraid. I was a little afraid to come. But, you know, I just, you know, bit the bullet and went. And I was right. When I got there, there was no black people there.
It was
And
only you.
yeah, me, yeah, I was the color icon. But the funny thing is, when the general manager who came out to thank the sponsors and do all of that, you know, good stuff, make everybody feel good, and he introduced the staff. And as he introduced the staff, he was introducing the people on air, and people was whistling and clapping and carrying on. And when he
Mm.
introduced me, and I walked out on the stage, it was like silence,
Oh
just
my God.
quiet. And I'm
You probably
standing
felt like
there.
getting in your car and going and drive off.
I actually wanted to. But what I did go to the mic. I said something. I have absolutely no idea what I said. But the funny thing is, there was a guy there that said, "Well, I'll be darned." I used to call myself Lady J because I hated my name. I thought it was too masculine. So I called myself Lady J. And this guy was like, "I'll be damned. That is Lady." And he did this really loud cow whistle and he started clapping. And then everybody else started clapping. And so that was like, I look over at my GM. Whew, okay,
All
we
right,
got
we
this
got over
one.
that hurdle.
But that kind of like was him doing that whistle, him recognizing, I guess he recognized my voice, and the fact that he whistled and clapped, everybody else kind of followed suit.
Mm-hmm.
And I really didn't have any, you know, any further problems at that station, doing what I was doing. And it just, you know, it just happened that way. I guess the cards were lined up right or appropriately in the universe on that particular day, because everything was kind of really cool after that.
All right. So, what made you want to start NAB Fem?
Okay. Well, NABFEM started, it was really number one, a passion. Number two, recognizing a problem. And number three, taking on the responsibility to say, yes, I can. Um, that story that I just told you from Mississippi to the time that I spent in Memphis on the air, to going from there to meeting Russell Simmons, to deciding to go to work for Def Jam and climbing the ranks, getting to the position of senior vice president at Def Jam. I
Wow.
felt that there were a lot more women out there
Mm-hmm.
that wanted an opportunity like that. I felt that there were a lot more women out there that wanted to do these things. They just didn't know how to break those barriers. They didn't know how to get inside, or if they got inside, really, what am I going to do? And so we started the organization to be a voice, a face for women, black women. No
Mm-hmm.
disrespect to anyone else. It's just that at that particular time, we were in black music, um, black artists, we were
Mm-hmm.
black executives, and that was the other thing. They guys did not refer to us as executives. I mean, yeah, you got the gig, whatever,
Mm-hmm. That's
but
just
they
Johnnie
didn't
over
like
there.
treat us like executives. So that's where the name came from, the National Association of Black Female Executives, because we really focused on that black female executives thing. We're not going to wait on you to call us an executive. We call ourselves executives. So we put the group together, and that's how it started. Us wanting, needing, and demanding a voice,
Mm.
and not to be deterred because somebody said no. Okay, so if you can't go over here, then we'll go over there. You can't
Mm.
say this, then we'll say that. And that's really, how it started. And the funny thing is, when I put everything together and went to just try to find me some sisters that would have my back, I'm telling you, I found a lot of women that was like, oh wow, yes, I want to be a part of this. I want to be a
Mhm.
part of this. And so that was the fuel that we needed to build a flame that we call NABFEM.
All right. So with NABFEM, it's true because a lot of women, we're in media, entertainment. It's it's a really dog world up there, and some men still don't even address you. Woo, we should just do a little show, or something. But if their show is, it's big, So
Yeah.
it's like, excuse me, we're working just as hard as you do too,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
even harder because we got to put it out there.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. We're always, working twice as hard, putting twice as much effort in, sometimes triple the effort, doing three times the work, just
Mhm.
to be accepted or just to show that we're qualified, to do the work. When in fact we are. It's just that they don't that, especially then. Obviously some things have changed, but there's
Mhm.
still so much more work to do. There's
There
still
is.
so much more that we have to, I hate to use the word prove, but that's kind of sort of like where we are sometimes. So there's still more work to do to get the job done, so that the inequality does not exist. The things that we're experiencing with, the wage disparity, these things are still
Mhm.
there. They were there 20 years ago when we started NABFEM, and the irony is they're still here today. We still deal with that. I'm doing
Mhm.
the same job that you're doing.
Right.
I'm making 90K, hypothetical numbers. I'm making 90K and you're making 100K. Okay, something's
Mm.
wrong with this picture. Something's
Yes.
wrong.
No, but it's very difficult. Like even with me, my name is DBoss, so some people
Yeah.
can't accept. So a lot of people think it's a man and and I said no. My first name is Darlita. My last name is Bostic. That's how I got DBoss.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry that if my initials match up. But
Well,
some of them
that
can't
kind of works.
accept it.
Yeah.
They always want to say, well, who's the boss of you? And I'm like, well, no one's the boss of me. It's me.
There you
So,
go.
and that's another thing that men can't understand. And they have a lot of trouble to accept it. They say, well, why don't you just call yourself Lady D or something else? And I almost say, no, that's not what I'm calling myself. I'm sorry.
So true. So
But they
very
always want you
true.
to change what you come and identify yourself with, because maybe it's a strong and maybe we're doing something right. And it's like, wow.
Well, it's intimidating for some.
Mm-hmm.
Those that are not intimidated become some of the biggest supporters of our
Mm-hmm.
organization, men, because they're not intimidated by. But if it's hate to say it, if it's a lazy guy, if it's a guy that's really not, pulling his weight, and there's a sister over there really doing it and
Working.
making it happen, he's a little bit intimidated by her. He needs to do what he can to hold her back because she's making him look bad. And so that does exist, man.
So how do you source your people that go into this organization of yours now, then?
Okay, when you say source, tell me exactly
Do
what you
you
mean.
source, or how do you get the people to come into that, or do you select them yourself?
Oh, no, 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 no. I do not. Now, basically, our situation, or I would say it's really simple, real simple. You can go to our website at nafm.org, click membership, complete the profile, join.
Okay.
We wanted to simplify the process. Again, I know that there are like a lot of groups now. So many groups now. See, back then all of that did not exist, but there are a
Mm-hmm.
lot of groups now. You have to be of a certain caliber, like you're at a certain type of company or something like that, and you have to get
Oh, okay.
invited in, or certain people have to bring you in. And I know that that's out there, but we strive to inspire. We
Mm-hmm.
strive to educate. We
Mm-hmm.
strive, to come together and work together to create things that's going to provide meaningful results. So it's really not about where you work, who you are, what you do. So we might sit down with somebody as powerful as Sylvia Rohn, and sit down with a sister trying to find a job. So at the end of the day, we're women, and we're
Yes.
all trying to climb this ladder, so to speak, that a lot of times there are a lot of roadblocks. There are a lot
Mhm.
of challenges. And so we try to minimize those challenges. We
Mhm.
try to teach. And I say try because everybody doesn't listen. And for those that
Mhm.
will listen, those that will utilize the information, we teach or educate, we inspire, we motivate, we use faith. I don't you pray to whoever you choose to pray to.
Mhm.
I'm not telling you who to pray to,
That's
but
right.
we are believers. And so
Mhm.
it's that's these are just things that we do. And
Right.
we believe that as we come together, in a meaningful sisterly fashion, that what I do can help somebody else. So it's like what I know can help somebody else grow. And that's how we get our people. We do seminars on college campuses, high school campuses.
Okay.
We have events ourselves, obviously pre-COVID, in hotels and different other places, just
Mhm.
to share our platform so people know who we are and what we're doing. And obviously, just like everybody else, we're on social media. We use that as a means of communication and
Right.
bringing people into the fold, if you will. COVID has really played havoc on us, but
Mhm.
we're still here, and we're still we still are dressing the charge.
So, what do you do if somebody, for example, comes to you and they say, "Oh, I'm an artist. I'm up and coming, and I'm, but I really haven't did anything yet."
well,
So,
they just, well, they just said their whole thing right there. I haven't did anything yet. So my question to that person would be, what do you want to do? A lot of what I like to try to, I would say, impart upon people is it's more
yes.
than one thing to do. It would be nice if we all could be Beyonce. I'd like to be Beyonce, but that's
Mhm.
not that's not
Everybody
real.
can't be like that.
That's not real. So what is real? What is real is there is a myriad of job opportunities in this game, and you can play in this game, handling, mastering those jobs. It's just that you ain't got the mic. So if that's who you are, and you
Mhm.
are an artist and you want to record and all of that good stuff, then you got to do some work. A lot of the artists now, they just want to they want microwave careers, meaning they
Mm.
want to get some beats, pop some
Use
lyrics on top
auto
of the beat,
tunes, auto tune,
auto
auto
tune,
tune,
whatever, put it in the microwave, press 3,
and I here I am.
and here I am. So, it's like I see people spend money like, um, I'm gonna pay Billy publicist X amount of dollars. With it, okay, and the publicist has no story, but you just spent your money, and I
You don't even maybe you
listen.
don't even have a song out. Some people don't even have a demo. So what do you do
It's
with those people that come to you and they don't even have a demo and oh, but I want to be a big singer.
Well, like I said to you a minute ago, I do the best that I can to encourage
Yeah.
them. I try to inspire them. I let them know what the roadblocks are going to be. If they choose not to listen in regards to the roadblocks and the
Mm-hmm.
challenges, there is nothing that I can do. Not going to stress myself out trying to tell you because you don't want to listen. I have people that come to me and say they just want to get their song on the radio. They don't really
Mm.
care about anything else. They feel if they get that song on the radio,
It's gonna
hey,
make a hit.
it's gonna make a hit. And so I'm trying to tell them how to set it up, some things that they need to do. They don't want to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
They just
Copyrights, all this other stuff.
they don't care about that. They want the song on the radio. I'm like,
Wow.
okay, you will not be calling me at 2 o'clock in the morning. But it's hard because the reason why it's hard is because I care,
Yes.
and I do understand the pursuit of your dream.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody could tell me that I was not going to be on the radio. So trust me, I understand. It's just that I was willing to do the work. Uh,
Yeah. If
so
you're willing to put in the work and the effort and the time to you nurture your craft and master it, then it's okay. But these
it's
people
okay.
that don't want to do that, they just say, well, I think my mom and my dad said I'm a good dancer. Okay, did you go to a dance academy? Did you, which place did you go to? Yeah, I know.
Listen.
Because I get those too. And I'm sorry, people, if you're listening and saying, "Oh my God," but it's true. You have to study what you do. You can't just say, "I'm going to pack up. I'm going to go to LA. I'm going to be an actor." Well, are you taking some courses, or are you going to be? What are you doing? You think they're just going to pull you off the street?
They're gonna say, "Oh, there's our next big star."
Or, there he is. We've been looking for you, and that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's I the other thing I say, there's always an exception to the rule. It
Right.
is, but the thing is, one size does not fit all. I mean, if I know you heard of Lil Nas X, to me, that's the exception to the rule. That's like really. So
it's true
things
that one
happen.
size doesn't fit all.
Yeah, but one size does not fit all. What worked for Lil
They
Nas
base that
X?
on a size that everybody can't fit in.
Oh, absolutely. What worked for one artist may not necessarily work for you. It just may not.
And the
I mean, there are
criteria and the standards are a lot higher. Like you can't just
there are
jump
some
into this and
patterns.
jump into that.
There are some patterns that you can replicate, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but you still got to be your own authentic self.
Right.
And you've got to, I mean, you have got to have some idea of who you are as an artist and where
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to take your music or where you're trying to go,
Mm-hmm.
and but most of these, a lot of kids that I run into, and I call them kids because I can, uh, they want to be on the BET Awards, they want to be on these shows.
You know how many people wait for that? How many people wait to even get on the Junos or even get nominated?
Oh yeah. Well, it's
and
amazing.
Some of them just don't know how to take it. So tell us about women in power.
You mean women? You mean women in jam, right? Women who jam.
Women in jam.
Yeah, women who jam. Well, women who jam is women in power.
Women who
jam actually was first.
Yeah, well, women in power. I guess I'm thinking about something else.
That's okay. That's okay. But listen, women who jam actually was first introduced in Toronto.
Really?
Yes, we had a conference. Our very first conference was in Toronto. Very first.
Wow.
And we had a showcase. I believe you guys had. I believe it was called the Capitol Theater, if I'm correct. I may be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But I believe that's what it was. But anyway, we had like Julie Black. We had Michi Me. We had on the Wheels of Steel. We had oh gosh, what's the young lady's name? She was a DJ. I'm gonna say Indami. I may be wrong.
Paula?
I know we had girl, listen. We had the creme, baby. Like I said, we had Julie Black. We had Michi Me. We had Divine Brown. Listen,
wow.
We had the show. And so what we were doing, we had Mel, is it Mel Boogie? Is it Mel Boogie? I think maybe Mel Boogie. Anyway, look, we had the DJ and we had some DJs from the States. So we were bringing the DJs from the States, and we had A. Marie from the States. We had a couple of artists from the States. And so we mixed it all up, and that was our Women Who Jam. We had the artists, we had the DJs, we had the people from, at the time it was Flow 93.5, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. So we had
Michael DJs. Williams. Did you have Michael Williams?
We had Farley Flex.
Yes.
Oh gosh, I can't remember. I remember Farley Flex. We had DJs from Flow.
What everybody did? Was a party, a jam session, or what was it?
Yeah, it was a jam session. The DJs was, of course, like they were kind of like, maybe we're gonna call them the little more or less power players, because artists need you guys to hear my music. So the artists perform, DJs acted a little bit like MCs or what have you, and then we had the DJs on the turntables. So it was just it was a big night. It was big.
So what was it, all R&B or was it funk?
Yeah,
soul?
it was mostly. It was pretty much all R&B. Yeah.
Okay.
But it was
Wow.
fun. It was fun.
So this
It
is
was
what
a
you
lot
do.
of
Well,
fun.
you can't do it now. So what do you so when the restrictions are lifted, I guess are you gonna start back with that?
We certainly look forward to it. One of the things that we've done, we started a radio show. It's only 1 hour, but that just kind of something to keep the momentum. So, but the beauty in that is we're on 20 radio stations. They are low power FMs, internet, and some college radio stations. So we do that. We also do Women Who Jam showcases pre-recorded, and we come back and we play them on Facebook Live or
Okay.
on YouTube. And so we were very fortunate in that at the last year's presidential election, when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris won the White House,
Mm-hmm.
we were sought after to produce an event, more or less a thank you type of event. And we called it Sounds of Celebration, uh, Presidential Sounds of Celebration from
Okay.
Philadelphia, because we did it in Philadelphia. And they had given us the option of doing saluting Philadelphia or Atlanta. And for me, Philadelphia was just a little easier to put together. And so
Okay.
what we did, COVID all in our face. But what we did was we had a very small venue, and we had the artists that came in and performed, and we recorded the performances. We recorded the performances, put it together, created a show, and just played it back on Facebook Live and YouTube, and people loved it. So I would say that, with COVID-19, it ought to be COVID-22, COVID being being as it is, we're utilizing the technology,
Okay.
just to keep our brand aware, keep people aware of our brand. We you know, post on our website, we post on social media. We do as much as we possibly can with the restraints that we're under, because for us, it's really about that live performance. It's really
Mm-hmm.
about getting the artists out there to the people and sharing the music with the fans, and then letting the fans have the opportunity to not only consume, but to embrace the music and then embrace the artist. And you really
Mm-hmm.
have to kind of sort of do that in a physical situation. But COVID has really challenged a lot of that, and we've not been able to do a lot of the things that we've done in the past.
Okay. So who would you like to work with that you haven't?
Mm, Well, let's see. Who would
Mm.
I like to work with that I haven't? I don't know. Probably Missy Elliott. If I had,
Wow.
if I could just pick somebody, probably. I just think she's a mastermind. I think she's
Mm-hmm.
incredible. Whether it's
Right.
performing, whether it's writing, whether it's producing, I just think she holds the key to so many magnificent things that I would love that opportunity to work with Missy Elliott. I've never worked with her.
Wow.
Um, and I don't see that old ego thing with her, which is another reason why I would like to work with
Oh,
her. Yeah, I don't see that. It might be there, but the few times that I have encountered her and been in her presence, I just didn't get that. I didn't get
wow.
I didn't get that. Oh, I'm Missy Elliott. I never got that. Where there have been artists that, trust me.
You don't even want to go around them.
Oh,
You're like,
look,
if
I
I,
don't
if
even
I
want to
knew
do
this was
that.
your personality, I would stay home.
Yeah, and so Missy Elliott would be the artist that I would just love to work with. Mm.
All right. So, what more can we expect from NABFEM? What would you
Well,
like to do?
like I said a moment ago, even though we've done a lot of work, there's still a lot more work to do. And
Mm-hmm.
so we will continue regardless of the challenges. We'll do the best that we can to go around the challenges. One of the things that we are doing that I think is extremely important, and that is to tell stories. So many young people don't know they don't know the path of the artists that came before them. They just hear what they hear now. and they don't know. And I think it's very important to know. We should, it's like artists like Marvin Gaye that will sing a song like "What's Going On" that is applicable and appropriate today. It applies to the situation that we're in right now. And I try to talk to artists about creating memorable music with longevity. Whereas you're trying to create a song that's good for right now, and I get that. I'm trying to get mine right now. I get that, but just think about it. The in that song, "What's Going On," he's talking about picket lines. Don't what is it? Don't charge me with brutality, and things that he is talking about in that song are applicable today. And I think that a lot of times when kids hear a sample, a lot of times they don't know where that sample came from.
Right.
And I think that in order for our culture to expand, in order for our culture to not only build, but to regenerate itself, I just believe that young people that are making music now need to know where it came from. So,
well, look at Isaac Hayes, "Wake Up Everybody." That song.
Oh my goodness, yes. Songs like that are applicable right now.
Yeah.
They're totally applicable now.
No more sleeping in bed. You know what I mean? You gotta wake up.
So we just want to teach more. We want to educate more. We want to inspire more. We want to see more women in decision-making positions, certainly in music, in sports, film, and TV, because that is how we expanded. Like I said, in the early days, it was just all about the music. But, we have a lot of people, sisters in our organization that are in TV. They're in film. A lot of women that work behind the scenes. We have stylists, cosmetologists, people that all they do is put the eyelashes on. Okay. But guess what? It's very necessary.
No, but that's important though.
That's very important.
If that thing comes off in the middle of your interview, you have to wonder, you got to go right back to them and say, "Hey, I don't know what's going on here."
Okay. Yeah. So
you need to go back.
So we just kind of like try to touch everybody, people that are willing to share information, people that are willing to, share what they know so somebody else can grow. Those are people that we target. Those are people that we surround ourselves with. And we teach each other. We learn from each other. And so I think that as we continue to grow beyond this virus, we will continue to teach and we will continue to share information or share knowledge with those that will listen. And
that's the I talk to a lot of people that try to give people advice, and the people that are entertainers that are big, and they said that they will call you, ring you down. They say they're calling you Johnnie all the time. So as soon as you get you on the phone, and then what happens is you're asking, "Oh, can you give me some advice?" And then they turn around, I don't want to hear that.
Well,
true. It's and they don't want to listen. A lot of them said they give the advice and then they don't want to listen because maybe their friends have already pumped them that they're supposed to be at this level.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think a lot of times it's almost a catch-22 because an artist should know where they're going. What if they should have an idea of where they're trying to take themselves as an artist and their music. But big strong but here is you might have an idea, but if you don't have a roadmap and you don't know how to get there, sit your butt down and listen. A lot of times, like you said, if they're friends or somebody that hype them up, man, you should be hosting the Juno Awards.
You're right. You can host a local event.
Yeah, but right, they've never hosted a local event. But see, they may have a song, or they may have a little traction. They may have a little traction in the market, and people know who they are, and they've been gassed up. So when they come to you or they come to someone else, they just really want to be hosting the Juno Awards. They really don't want to hear all that other stuff. They don't want to hear all that. They simply, you need to tell me how I can host the Juno Awards. That's where I'm supposed to be. And
well, people got to look at Steve Harvey. He was in comic and he was this. Now look at him, and it was a long time before he got those things.
Well, and he doesn't mind telling the story that he slept in his car. He shares the story, but we are dealing with a generation now. This generation, what, Z? Wait a minute,
I don't know what it was, Z or F.
Let's go with X because I think Z they like 19 or something like that. This generation, they're not I mean, I just, like, they're not going to get the 20-year pen. They're just not. That they don't.
They're not listening to do the work. They're not listening to build a career. They don't want to listen.
They're not going to be anywhere that long. I think they hit and they go. They hit and they go. Many of them will be, I believe, entrepreneurs. They will work for themselves because they just don't have the wherewithal to work for somebody else. They'll work for somebody else till they can maybe get a little nest egg and they're out of there. So they're not going to be at a company 30 years or anything. I don't see that. I could be wrong now. I don't see that. These kids are like, hey, they want it and they want it now. And I'll worry about tomorrow when tomorrow comes.
ASAP, that's it.
Right now.
So there's any shout outs that you want to give to people or your people?
Golly, man. Shout out Aisha Wickham. I think she's at golly, I don't know the company, Ontario. Golly, I don't know. I don't know. It's a music entity there in Toronto, but I'm getting the name wrong. But shout out to Aisha Wickham. Shout out Gail Phillip. Gail Phillip works for oh gosh, I can't think of the name of the company right now, but Katie Ann is a good friend of mine. Toa Beer, shout out. Divine Brown, shout out. Michi Me. Oh gosh, man, it's so many. Farley Flex. It's so many people that that we had relationships with, friendships with, and we still have them. Aubrey, hey Aubrey, if you hear this, see this. Just a Factor. That's what was bugging me, man. Gail Phillip works for Factor. Just so many people that we came to Toronto, didn't know a soul. Wendy Vincent, incredible publicist there. We didn't know anybody. These names that I'm calling are people that embraced us. They embraced the mission of our organization.
Wow. Man,
they took us around town. They showed us the landscape. They introduced us. Shout out to Counselor Thompson. Oh my gosh, man. I'm telling you, it is so many people, and more that I talk, more people's names are popping in my head. But
yes,
an incredible group of people. Elisa Washington, I believe, your first in WNBA sports agent, and I believe she is an actual NBA sports agent now.
Yes.
Oh, listen, I'm telling you, the list is huge. It's a lot of people.
So if they want to find you on social media, where can people reach out to you on?
NABFEM on social media, just Facebook, NABFEM, Twitter, NABFEM, Instagram, NABFEM. But now on Instagram, I am NABFEM Prez, Prez. So it's NABFEM, NABFEME, Prez. And all of the other accounts, Miss Johnnie Walker. And I always put the Miss there because if you just put Johnnie Walker there, the liquor comes up. So Miss Johnnie Walker. Is this a liquor brand? Yes, hey man, that's the cross I bear. But
all right,
it's all good. It's all good.
well, it's been a pleasure having you on, Johnnie Walker, to learn about your organization, your story, your journey, and your journey still continuing. And people support it. Go join the membership at NABFEM. Just go in there and they'll see your application and they'll reach out to you. It doesn't matter if it's COVID or no COVID. This thing's going to be going on anyways.
Listen, we're coming back. So Toronto, get ready for us. We're coming back. Whatever this situation is, it will run its course. As my grandmother used to always tell me, this too shall pass. So
that's right. So everybody, I want to thank the viewers.